The big room was full of different aliens. They all looked weird. Some had blue skin, others had 3 eyes, and a few even had tentacles. They were all there for a big meeting about space stuff. In the middle of the room, a tall alien with green skin and 4 arms stood up. His name was Zork, and he was the boss of this meeting. He looked around at everyone and said in a loud voice, "Today we talk about humans." All the aliens started to laugh and make funny noises. They thought humans were silly and weak. Zork held up his hands to make everyone quiet. "We all know humans are new to space. They just learned how to leave their planet. Should we let them join our big space group?" A fat alien with purple spots stood up. "No way. Humans are too soft. They can't fight. They cry when they get hurt. We don't need crybabies in space." Everyone laughed again. They all agreed that humans were no good. But in a dark corner of the room, someone was listening. It was a young human girl named Mia. She had snuck into the meeting because she was curious. Now she was mad. Mia was only 16 years old, but she was smart. She had bright green eyes and curly brown hair. Her dad was a famous space pilot, and she knew humans were better than what these aliens thought. She wanted to jump up and yell at the aliens, but she knew she had to be quiet. If they found her, she would be in big trouble. Zork spoke again. "So we all agree. Humans stay on their planet. They can't join our space group. They're too weak and dumb for space wars." Mia's face got red. She was so angry, but then she had an idea. She would show these aliens how wrong they were. She would prove that humans were strong and smart. Quietly, Mia slipped out of the room. She ran down the long hallways of the space station. Her heart was beating fast. She had to tell someone what she heard. She found her dad's ship and climbed inside. Her dad, Captain Tom, was working on some buttons. He looked up and smiled. "Hey, sweetie, what's got you all excited?" Mia took a deep breath and told her dad everything she heard. Captain Tom's face got serious. "This is not good," he said. "We need to tell the Earth leaders about this." For the next few days, Mia and her dad talked to a lot of important people. They told them what the aliens said about humans. The Earth leaders were not happy. "We've been trying to be friends with the aliens," one leader said. "We didn't know they thought we were so weak." Another leader stood up. She was an old lady with white hair, but her eyes were sharp. "Maybe it's time we show them what humans can really do," she said with a smile. Mia liked this lady. She had a plan, and Mia wanted to help. The Earth leaders decided to send Mia and her dad on a special mission. They would go to different planets and show aliens how good humans were. It would be dangerous, but Mia was ready. As they got ready to leave Earth, Mia looked out the window of their spaceship. The blue and green planet looked so small from up here, but Mia knew that the people on that small planet were strong. They just needed a chance to prove it. Captain Tom put his hand on Mia's shoulder. "Ready for an adventure, kiddo?" he asked with a big smile. Mia nodded. She was a little scared, but mostly excited. "Let's show those aliens what humans can do," she said. Their ship took off, zooming into the stars. Mia didn't know what would happen next, but she was sure it would be amazing. Humans might be new to space, but they were quick learners. And Mia was going to make sure everyone in the galaxy knew it. As they flew through space, Mia thought about all the cool things humans had done. They had climbed the highest mountains, dived into the deepest oceans, and even walked on their own moon. Humans were explorers and inventors. They never gave up, even when things were hard. "Dad," Mia said, turning to Captain Tom, "how are we going to show the aliens that humans are strong?" Captain Tom smiled. "We'll start by being friendly. We'll help aliens who need it. We'll show them that humans are kind and smart. And if we need to, we'll show them that we're brave too." Mia nodded. She liked this plan. It wasn't about fighting or being mean. It was about showing the best parts of being human. Their first stop was a small planet called Blurp. The Blurpians were short, round aliens with big eyes. When Mia and Captain Tom landed, the Blurpians looked scared. "Don't worry," Maya said with a big smile. "We're here to help." The Blurpians didn't believe her at first. They had heard humans were weak and useless. But Mia didn't give up. She asked what problems they had on their planet. The Blurpian leader, a little rounder than the others, stepped forward. "Our crops are dying," he said sadly. "We don't know why, and we're running out of food." Mia's eyes lit up. This was their chance. "My dad knows a lot about plants," she said, "and I'm good at solving puzzles. Can we take a look?" The Blurpians looked at each other, then nodded. What did they have to lose? For the next week, Mia and Captain Tom worked hard. They studied the soil, checked the water, and looked at the sick plants. Captain Tom used his knowledge from Earth farms, and Mia used her puzzle-solving skills to figure out the problem. It turned out that a tiny bug was eating the plant roots. It was too small for the Blurpians to see, but Maya spotted it with a special microscope from their ship. "We can fix this," Maya said excitedly. She and her dad showed the Blurpians how to make a special spray that would keep the bugs away without hurting the plants. The Blurpians were amazed. In just a few days, their crops started to get better. They had thought humans were weak, but now they saw how smart and helpful they could be. As Mia and Captain Tom got ready to leave, the Blurpian leader came to thank them. "We were wrong about humans," he said. "You are kind and clever. Please, tell others about us. We would be happy to have more human visitors." Mia grinned. This was exactly what they wanted. As their ship took off, she waved to her new Blurpian friends. "One planet down, many more to go." "Where to next, Dad?" Maya asked, excited for their next adventure. Captain Tom checked their map of the galaxy. "There's a planet called Xizax not far from here. The aliens there are having trouble with strong storms. Want to see if we can help?" "You bet," Mia said. She was ready for anything. As they flew towards Xizax, Maya thought about the aliens who had laughed at humans. She couldn't wait to prove them wrong, one planet at a time. Humans might be new to space, but they were quick learners and always ready to lend a hand. The stars zoomed by outside their ship window. Mia knew that somewhere out there, those mean aliens were still thinking humans were weak. But soon, very soon, they would learn the truth. And Mia couldn't wait to see the looks on their faces when they did. Scary aliens attack. Mia and her dad, Captain Tom, were having fun helping aliens on different planets. They had just left Xizax, where they helped stop big storms. The Xizaxians were so happy that they gave Mia and Tom special shiny rocks as thank you gifts. As they flew through space, something strange happened. Their ship's computer started making loud beeping noises. "What's that, Dad?" Maya asked, looking worried. Captain Tom checked the computer. His face got serious. "It's an emergency call," he said, "from the big alien meeting place we visited before." Mia remembered that place. It was where she heard the mean aliens laugh at humans. "Are they in trouble?" she asked. "Big trouble," Tom said. "We need to go help." Their ship turned around and zoomed towards the alien meeting place. As they got closer, they saw something scary. Big black ships were attacking the meeting place. They were shooting lasers and breaking things. Mia had never seen ships like these before. "Who are they, Dad?" Maya asked, her eyes wide. "They're called the Growlers," Tom said. "They're mean aliens who like to fight. No one has been able to stop them before." Mia watched as the alien ship she knew tried to fight back. But the Growlers were too strong. The other alien ship were getting blown up one by one. Suddenly, their computer beeped again. It was a message from the aliens in the meeting place. A familiar face appeared on the screen. It was Zork, the alien who had laughed at humans before. But he wasn't laughing now. He looked scared. "Humans," Zork said. "We need help. The Growlers are too strong. Please, we were wrong about you. Can you help us?" Mia looked at her dad. Captain Tom nodded. "We'll do what we can," he told Zork. Mia felt excited, but also a little scared. This was their chance to show what humans could do. But the Growlers looked really dangerous. Captain Tom flew their ship closer to the fight. "Mia," he said, "I need you to be my helper. Can you do that?" Mia nodded. She was ready to be brave. Tom pressed some buttons on the ship. Suddenly, a big screen appeared, showing all the ships around them. "The Growlers are strong," Tom said, "but they're not very smart. We can trick them." Mia watched as her dad started to fly their ship in a weird way. He went up and down, left and right. It looked like a crazy dance in space. "What are you doing, Dad?" Mia asked. Tom grinned. "I'm confusing their computers," he said. "They can't figure out where we'll go next." Mia saw that it was working. The Growler ships were having trouble hitting them. Some of their shots even hit other Growler ships by mistake. Then Tom did something really cool. He flew really close to a Growler ship, but instead of shooting, he pressed a special button. A big net came out of their ship and wrapped around the Growler ship. The Growler ship couldn't move or shoot anymore. "Wow," Mia shouted. "That was awesome." Tom laughed. "That's a trick we learned on Earth for catching space junk. I thought it might work on bad guys too." Mia had an idea. "Dad," she said, "can we tell the other aliens how to do that?" Tom nodded. "Great idea, kiddo." They sent a message to all the friendly alien ships. They told them how to confuse the Growlers and how to use the net trick. Soon, the whole space battle changed. The friendly aliens started flying crazy patterns like Tom. The Growlers got more and more confused. Then, one by one, the friendly aliens started catching Growler ships in nets. It was like a big game of space fishing. Mia laughed as she watched. The scary Growlers didn't look so scary anymore, all tangled up in nets. In less than an hour, the battle was over. All the Growler ships were caught. The friendly aliens had won, thanks to the human tricks. Zork's face appeared on their screen again. But this time, he wasn't scared. He looked happy and amazed. "Humans," he said, "we were so wrong about you. You are not weak. You are clever and brave. You saved us all." Mia felt proud. She and her dad had shown the aliens what humans could do. But then Zork said something that surprised her. "Young human," he said, looking at Mia, "you and your father have proven that humans belong in space. We would be honored if Earth would join our space group." Mia couldn't believe it. This was even better than she had hoped for. "What do you say, Dad?" she asked, turning to Captain Tom. Tom smiled. "I think that sounds great," he said, "but we'll need to ask the Earth leaders first." As they got ready to fly back to Earth with the big news, Maya looked out at the stars. She thought about how this adventure had started, with aliens laughing at humans. Now those same aliens wanted humans to join them. "I guess sometimes you have to show people what you can do," Maya said to herself. "They might surprise you." Their ship turned towards Earth, zooming past the giant space battle they had just won. Mia couldn't wait to tell everyone back home about their adventure. She knew this was just the beginning. Humans were part of the big space family now. And Mia was sure they would have many more chances to show how special humans could be. As Earth came into view, a big blue and green ball in space, Maya felt excited. She didn't know what would happen next, but she was sure it would be amazing. After all, humans had just proved they could do anything they set their minds to, even win a space battle, and make new alien friends. Mia looked at her dad. "What do you think will happen now?" she asked. Captain Tom put his arm around her shoulders. "I don't know, sweetie," he said, "but I'm sure it'll be an adventure, and humans are good at adventures." Mia nodded. She was ready for whatever came next. Humans had shown they were strong, clever, and brave. And this was just the start of their big space story. As their ship entered Earth's atmosphere, Mia knew one thing for sure. The aliens would never laugh at humans again. In fact, they might even learn a thing or two from their new human friends. The future was bright, and it was full of stars, and humans were ready to explore every single one of them. Humans joined the fight. Mia and Captain Tom were back on Earth. They had just told the Earth leaders about their big space adventure. Everyone was excited about joining the alien space group. "You've done a great job," said Ms. Rodriguez, the head of Earth's space team. "But now we have a bigger job to do. The Growlers are still out there, and they're angry." Mia felt a little scared. The Growlers were tough enemies, but she was also excited. This was a chance for all humans to show what they could do. Ms. Rodriguez looked at Mia. "Mia, we have a special job for you," she said. "We want you to be our helper with the aliens. You'll talk to them and help us work together." Mia's eyes got big. "Me? Really?" she asked. Captain Tom put his hand on Mia's shoulder. "You can do it, kiddo," he said. "You're great with aliens." Mia nodded. She was nervous but ready. For the next few weeks, Earth was very busy. They built new spaceships and trained more people to fly them. Mia helped by talking to the aliens every day. She told them about Earth's plans and learned about alien ships and weapons. Finally, it was time. Earth was ready to join the fight against the Growlers. Mia stood with her dad, looking at Earth's new space fleet. The ships were shiny and strong. They had cool weapons that the aliens had never seen before. "What do you think the Growlers will do when they see us?" Mia asked her dad. Captain Tom smiled. "I think they'll be very surprised," he said. Mia and Tom got on their ship. It was bigger now, with room for more people to help. As they flew into space, Mia saw hundreds of Earth ships flying with them. It was an amazing sight. When they reached the alien meeting place, Mia saw even more ships. There were ships from all the alien worlds they had helped. Everyone was here to fight the Growlers. Zork's face appeared on their screen. "Welcome, humans," he said. "We're glad you're here. The Growlers are coming, and they have a big army." Mia looked at the radar. She saw lots of black dots coming closer. Those were Growler ships. There were so many of them. "Don't worry," Maya said to Zork. "Humans have some tricks up our sleeves." Just then, the Growler ships appeared. They were big and scary, with sharp points and dark colors. They started shooting right away. But the human ships were ready. They did something the Growlers didn't expect. Instead of shooting back, the human ships released thousands of tiny robots into space. "What are those?" Zork asked, looking confused. Mia grinned. "We call them space bees," she said. "Watch what they can do." The tiny robots flew towards the Growler ships. They were too small for the Growlers to shoot. When they reached the ships, they started to cut small holes and go inside. "The space bees are shutting down the Growler ships from the inside," Captain Tom explained. "It's like giving their computers a bad cold." Mia watched as Growler ship after Growler ship started to slow down and stop working. The aliens cheered. They had never seen anything like this before. But the Growlers weren't done yet. They still had a lot of working ships, and they were angry now. They started to attack harder. "Time for trick number 2, Captain Tom said. He pressed a button on his control panel. Suddenly, all the human ships released a strange shimmering cloud. It spread out, covering the huge area of space. "What's that?" Maya asked. She hadn't heard about this trick. "It's a special shield," Tom said. "It stops the Growler's sensors from working right. They can't see where to shoot." Mia watched in amazement as the Growler ships started to miss their targets. Some of them even crashed into each other because they couldn't see where they were going. The alien ships took advantage of this. They flew in close and started catching the confused Growler ships in nets, just like Mia and Tom had taught them before. It was working. The Growlers were losing the battle. But then something unexpected happened. A huge Growler ship, bigger than any they had seen before, appeared from behind a moon. It shot out a powerful beam that cut through the human shield. "Oh no!" Mia shouted. "What do we do now?" For a moment, everyone was quiet. This new ship was really scary. But then Mia had an idea. "Dad," she said, "remember how we stopped the storms on Zizaks? Could we do something like that to this ship?" Captain Tom thought for a second, then smiled. "Mia, you're a genius," he said. He quickly sent a message to all the human ships. The human ships flew into a special formation. They all pointed their beams at the big growler ship. But instead of shooting, they created a huge whirlwind in space. The whirlwind got bigger and bigger. It caught the giant growler ship and started spinning it around and around. "It's working," Mia shouted. "The ship can't shoot straight when it's spinning." The aliens watched in amazement as the humans used the power of storms in space. The giant growler ship spun faster and faster until its lights went out. It had lost power. With their biggest ship gone, the rest of the growlers started to run away. The battle was over. The humans and their alien friends had won. Cheers filled the radio. Aliens and humans alike were celebrating their victory. Maya felt proud. Humans had shown everyone how smart and brave they could be. Zork's face appeared on the screen again. He looked happy and impressed. "Humans," he said, "you have amazed us all. Your creative thinking and teamwork have saved the galaxy. You are truly worthy members of our space family." Mia smiled. This was what she had hoped for all along. Humans weren't just accepted in space now. They were respected and admired. As the ship started to fly home, Maya looked out at the stars. She thought about how much had changed since she first snuck into that alien meeting. Humans had proved they belonged in space, and this was just the beginning of their adventures. "What do you think we'll do next, Dad?" Maya asked. Captain Tom laughed. "Who knows? But whatever it is, I'm sure humans will find a clever way to do it. That's what we do best." Mia nodded. She couldn't wait to see what exciting things would happen next. The whole galaxy was open to them now, full of new friends and amazing adventures. As Earth came into view, Mia felt happy and proud. Humans had shown the galaxy what they could do, and she had helped make it happen. It was the best adventure ever, and it was only the start. The battle that changed everything. A few months had passed since the big fight with the Growlers. Humans were now a big part of the space family. Mia had become famous across the galaxy. Everyone wanted to meet the girl who helped bring humans and aliens together. But things weren't all good. The Growlers were still out there, and they were angrier than ever. They had been quiet for a while, but now they were back. And this time, they had a plan. One day, Mia was in a big meeting with alien leaders. Her dad, Captain Tom, was there too. Suddenly, all the screens in the room started flashing red. "What's happening?" Maya asked, feeling scared. Zork, the alien leader, looked worried. "The Growlers are attacking," he said. "But it's different this time. They're attacking everywhere at once." Mia and Tom looked at the big space map. Red dots were popping up all over. The Growlers were attacking planets, space stations, and ships. It was chaos. "How can we fight them when they're everywhere?" An alien asked. Everyone looked scared and confused. But Mia had an idea. "Wait," she said. "Remember how humans won before? We didn't just fight. We outsmarted them." The aliens looked at Mia. They were listening. "We need to think differently," Maya said. "We can't fight everywhere at once. But maybe we don't have to." Captain Tom nodded. He knew his daughter had a good idea. "What if," Mia continued, "instead of fighting the Growlers, we tricked them?" The aliens looked confused. "How can we trick a whole army?" Zork asked. Mia smiled. "With the biggest magic trick ever," she said. For the next hour, Mia explained her plan. It was crazy and risky, but it just might work. The aliens listened and started to get excited. This was the kind of thinking they needed. Soon, ships from Earth, and all the alien worlds were moving into position. They weren't getting ready to fight. They were getting ready to fool the Growlers. Mia and Captain Tom were in their ship, flying towards a group of Growler ships. Maya felt nervous but excited. Ready for the biggest show in the galaxy? Tom asked his daughter. Mia nodded. Let's do this. Suddenly, their ship started to change. It grew bigger and bigger. Soon, it looked like a huge space monster. But it wasn't real. It was a hologram, a big 3D picture made of light. The humans had used their movie-making skills to create the scariest space monster ever. All around the galaxy, other ships were doing the same thing. Some turned into giant space dragons. Others became huge robots. There were even some that looked like floating space islands. The Growlers didn't know what to do. They had come to fight ships and planets. But now they were facing monsters and things they had never seen before. Some Growler ships tried to shoot the space monsters, but their shots went right through the holograms. Other Growlers got so scared, they started to run away. Mia watched from inside their ship. The plan was working. The Growlers were confused and afraid. But the humans and aliens weren't done yet. They had more tricks to play. Next, they used special machines to make fake noises in space. The Growlers started hearing strange roars and scary sounds. It made them even more afraid. Then the human and alien ships released millions of tiny, shiny things into space. These little bits caught the light and made it look like there were force fields everywhere. The Growlers were now completely confused. They couldn't tell what was real and what was fake. Their whole attack plan was falling apart. Mia saw a group of Growler ships trying to escape. "Now, Dad," she shouted. Captain Tom pressed a button. Their ship shot out a special beam. When it hit the Growler ships, it made them think they were going in circles. The Growlers kept flying, but they weren't going anywhere. All across the galaxy, humans and aliens were using similar tricks. They used holograms to make fake planets, tricking Growler ships into flying the wrong way. They used special lights to make it look like there were huge space storms, scaring the Growlers away from real planets. It was working better than anyone had hoped. The Growlers, who thought they were so tough, were being defeated by tricks and smarts instead of weapons. After a few hours, it was clear the battle was over. Most of the Growler ships had either run away or been captured. The galaxy was safe again. As the holograms faded away and things went back to normal, cheers could be heard on every radio channel. Humans and aliens alike were celebrating their victory. Zork's face appeared on Mia's screen. He was smiling bigger than Mia had ever seen. "Mia, humans," he said, "you have done it again. You have saved us all with your incredible imagination." Mia felt proud. Humans had shown once again that being clever was just as important as being strong. As they flew back to the space station, Mia saw ships from all different alien worlds flying together. Humans were now a big part of this space family. They had earned their place among the stars. "Do you think the Growlers will come back?" Mia asked her dad. Captain Tom shook his head. "I don't think so," he said. "They've learned that there's more to fear out here than just big guns. Sometimes the scariest thing can be a good idea." Mia laughed. She was happy and proud. Humans had changed how the whole galaxy thought about fighting. They had shown that peace could be won with smarts and teamwork, not just with weapons. As they landed at the space station, Mia saw aliens and humans working together, laughing and celebrating. She knew that this was just the beginning. There would be many more adventures ahead, and humans would be a big part of them all. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate humans. They might be new to space, but their creativity and courage could change everything. And Mia couldn't wait to see what they would do next. A new galactic order. A year had passed since the great battle against the Growlers. The galaxy was at peace, and things had changed a lot. Humans were now respected everywhere they went. Mia, the girl who had helped save the galaxy twice, was a big hero. Today was a special day. Mia and her dad, Captain Tom, were on their way to a huge space station. It was the biggest meeting of alien races ever, and humans were invited as honored guests. As their ship docked at the space station, Mia looked out the window. She saw hundreds of different alien ships. Some were big and shiny, others were small and strange-looking. It was amazing to see so many different creatures all in one place. "Wow," Maya said. "I can't believe we're really part of all this now." Captain Tom smiled. "We've come a long way, kiddo," he said. "Remember when aliens thought humans were weak?" Mia laughed. Those days seemed so long ago now. As they walked into the big meeting room, aliens of all shapes and sizes turned to look at them. But this time, no one was laughing. Instead, they all started clapping and cheering. Zork, the alien leader who had once doubted humans, came up to greet them. "Welcome, our human friends," he said. "We're so glad you're here." The meeting started, and Mia listened as alien leaders talked about the future of the galaxy. They talked about trade between planets, exploring new parts of space, and how to keep peace. Then Zork stood up. "We have a special announcement," he said. "We want to make Earth the new center for galactic peace talks." Mia's eyes went wide. This was a big deal. Earth would be where aliens from all over came to solve problems and make friends. "But why Earth?" an alien asked. "It's so far from the center of the galaxy." Zork smiled. "Because humans have shown us a new way," he said. "They taught us that we don't always need to fight to solve problems. Sometimes we just need to think differently." Everyone in the room nodded. They all remembered how humans had used clever tricks to beat the Growlers. "Plus," Zork added, "humans make the best pizza in the galaxy. And who doesn't love pizza?" Everyone laughed. Mia grinned. She had introduced pizza to the aliens, and they couldn't get enough of it. The meeting went on, and more exciting things were decided. Humans would help teach aliens about creativity and problem-solving. In return, aliens would share their advanced space technology with Earth. There was talk about starting a galactic sports league, with teams from different planets competing in zero-gravity games. Maya thought that sounded like a lot of fun. They also decided to start a big project to clean up space junk and protect planets from asteroids. Humans would lead this project, using their experience from cleaning Earth's oceans. As the meeting was ending, something unexpected happened. A group of aliens that looked a lot like the Growlers walked in. Everyone got quiet and nervous. But the leader of this group stepped forward and spoke. "We are the Purs," he said. "We're cousins of the Growlers. We heard about how humans defeated them without violence. We want to learn from you." Mia couldn't believe it. Even the Growlers' family wanted to be friends now. Captain Tom stood up. "We'd be happy to teach you," he said. "And maybe you can teach us some things too. That's what being part of a galactic family is all about." The Purs looked happy. Soon, they were talking with humans and other aliens, making new friends. As the day went on, Mia walked around the space station. She saw humans and aliens working together on all sorts of cool projects. There were scientists studying strange new plants from faraway planets. Engineers were designing ships that could travel faster than ever before. There was even a group trying to translate alien music into sounds humans could enjoy. Mia felt proud. Humans had found their place in the galaxy. They weren't the strongest or the most advanced, but they had something special to offer. Their creativity, their ability to think outside the box, and their friendly spirit had changed the galaxy for the better. As the day was ending, Maya stood by a big window, looking out at the stars. Captain Tom came to stand beside her. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. Mia smiled. "I'm thinking about how it all started," she said, "with aliens laughing at humans. And now look at us." Tom nodded. "We've sure proved them wrong," he said. "But you know what the best part is?" "What?" Maya asked. "We did it by being ourselves," Tom said. "We didn't try to be like the aliens. We just showed them what humans do best, solving problems in creative ways. Mia nodded. She understood now why humans were so important to the galaxy. They brought something new, something different, and that made everything more interesting. Just then, Zork came up to them. "Mia," he said, "we have a favor to ask you." "What is it?" Maya asked, curious. Zork looked a bit embarrassed. "Well, we're starting a galactic comedy show," he said. "We were hoping you could teach us about human humor. Aliens find it very strange and interesting." Mia laughed. She could just imagine trying to explain human jokes to aliens. It would be quite an adventure. "I'd love to," she said. As Zork walked away, Mia turned back to the window. The galaxy stretched out before her, full of stars and planets and endless possibilities. "You know, Dad," she said, "I think this is just the beginning. Humans have so much more to show the galaxy." Captain Tom put his arm around his daughter's shoulders. "You're right," he said, "and I can't wait to see what we do next." As they stood there, watching the stars, Maya felt excited for the future. Humans had found their place among the stars. They had made new friends, solved big problems, and changed how the whole galaxy thought about peace and war. And the best part was, their adventure was just getting started. There were still so many stars to explore, so many new friends to meet, and so many cool things to learn. Mia smiled to herself. Being human in a big galaxy of aliens wasn't always easy, but it sure was exciting, and she wouldn't have it any other way.